It's your man Jay Graves Report, and welcome to the College Football Weekly Preview, Week 10. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Previewing the top 5 ball games of the weekend, so let's get right to it. Now, let's go out to the first ball game. We're going to visit the Big Ten for a minute. We got Penn State goes out to Evanston to play number 21 Northwestern. Now tell me, who in their right mind cares anything about this game? It was hard to find 5 ball games, bro. So I landed on Penn State and Northwestern. Now, both these teams, they both got 2 losses. Penn State 7-2, Northwestern 6-2. Both their losses, they got blasted. Penn State got blasted by Ohio State 38-10 and Temple 27-10. Northwestern got blasted by Iowa 40-10 and got drugged up and down the field by Jim Harbaugh and the Khakis 38-0. So why do we care about this game? We don't. Penn State, but on some real talk, Penn State got the best pass rush in the country. They have sacked quarterbacks 36 times. They rank 4th in pass defense, only giving up 157 yards in the air. These boys are the real deal. I would go with Northwestern to win this ball game because they play at the crib. But there is no such thing as a home field advantage in Evanston. The Duns that go to Northwestern don't even know they got a football team, bro. These Duns is studying. They not even showing up to the game. So I got Penn State to win this ball game. Let's move on to the next ball game before I get a headache. Now, let's go on to the next ball game. We got number 5. Notre Dame goes out to play Pitt. Again, I'm struggling and trying to get 5 ball games this weekend. But look here. Notre Dame is averaging 36 points a game, putting up 494 yards a game. Pitt averaging 26 points a game, putting up 365 yards a game. Now, here's the deal. This is the significance of this ball game. This time last year, Notre Dame was 7-1. Ranked number 8 in the country at the time. Then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. Them Duns went out there and lost 4 straight. Now, will Notre Dame fall apart this weekend and lose and start falling? They're not going to lose this weekend, bro. They're going to beat the brakes off Pitt. Let's keep it real. Pitt ain't been relevant since Dan Marino or since Tony Dorsett won the Heisman in 76. Pitt is garbage, even though they 6-2. They still garbage. These boys from Notre Dame got better players. They gonna beat these boys. We not even tripping on that. But the problem that Notre Dame has, they rank 98th in red zone offense. So even though they terrible at red zone offense, they only score a touchdown 58% of the time in the red zone. They playing Pitt, bruh. They ought to be able to beat Pitt. I don't care where they play the ball game. If Notre Dame go out here and wet the bed this weekend, the Leprechauns going back to jail. You know that Dunn just got out of jail, just got out of rehab, everything. So now, if they lose this ball game, look for the Leprechaun to get in all kind of trouble this weekend. Hey, Notre Dame wins this ball game. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, we're going to go out to the Big 12. We got number 8, TCU, goes out to Stillwater to play number 14, Oklahoma State. Now, we don't have to talk about nothing. Both these teams, undefeated, trying to get into the college football playoffs. The Big 12 is not getting any respect right now from the rest of the country, from the sports writers, from the college football committee, playoff committee. So, whoever loses this ball game is out. Now, let's break this down. TCU is averaging 48 points a game, putting up 616 yards a game on these boys. Oklahoma State is averaging 44 points a game, putting up more than 502 yards a game. Now, TCU still got their schedules backloaded. They haven't played anybody, but now they got Oklahoma State this weekend. Then they show up and play OU next weekend, and then Baylor the week after that. So if these boys can keep rolling, I believe they could get into the college football playoff, but they got to stay undefeated. Now, here on the other side, Oklahoma State has put up 128 points in the last 2 ball games. They put up more than 1,245 yards in the last 2 ball games. They put up 859 in the air. But here's the problem. You know when I say that, that's a problem. They gave up. They had to score 70 points last week down in Lubbock at Texas Tech. They won 70-53. That means they don't have no defense, bro. These boys gonna get lit up this weekend if they show up and have the same defense that they had all season, not playing any defense. Texas Tech is not the team that should be putting up 53 points on you. So TCU goes to Stillwater and beats these boys. I'm going with TCU to beat these boys and stay in the hunt for the national championship. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, we got number 16, Florida State, goes down to Death Valley to play number 1, the Clemson Tigers. Now, Dabo Swinney got these boys rolling. They undefeated, number 1 in the country, all that. Here's the problem, though, bruh. Last time they were undefeated and Florida State showed up, famous Jameson Company came in there and beat these boys 51-14. Beat the brakes off of them. So, will Dabo Swinney fall apart this weekend? Not gonna happen, bruh. Because Everett Golson and Dalvin Cook both banged up, won't play in this ball game. Jaquez Patrick is going to play for Dalvin Cook. But Jaquez Patrick is not Dalvin Cook. Last week he put up 162 yards, had 3 touchdowns against Syracuse. But he still ain't Dalvin Cook. I'm going with Florida State to get blasted down in Death Valley this weekend, bro. Hey, you got both them Duns out, and then you got Chief Osceola pulled the hamstring last weekend. Pulled the hamstring last weekend trying to get on Renegade, bro. Trying to show out. Hey, can't show out on Renegade. Just go out there, plant the doggone spear, and keep moving. That dude out there trying to do it with no hands. Chief Osceola, if you don't get back in the ball game, bro, that's the problem. Chief Osceola is not in the ball game this weekend. Florida State gets blasted on the road. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, we got the big ball game down in the SEC. You got number 2, LSU, goes down to Tuscaloosa to play number 4, Alabama. Let's stop right there, bro. I got a problem with Alabama being number 4. Now, do I think Alabama is one of the best teams in the country? Yes, I do. However, it doesn't matter what I think about who's the best team in the country, who's more deserving. Because if the wins and the losses don't count, then why are we even playing the game? Why are we even keeping score in these ball games if the wins and the losses don't count? How in the world does Alabama get moved up to number 4 when you got TCU, Baylor, and Michigan State all playing in Power 5 conferences, playing against teams that are in Power 5 conferences, and they undefeated? I know at the end of the season, if all these teams end up with 1 loss, Alabama should be there because they play a tougher schedule, and they in it. But right now, the wins and the losses got to count for something. But here's the deal with this ball game. LSU comes into this ball game averaging 38 points a game, putting up 466 a game. Alabama averaging 33 points a game, putting up 421 a game. This is the 7th time since 2005 that these teams have shown up and played this ball game in the top 10. That's unbelievable. Here's the deal on this game. I got Alabama winning this ball game at the crib. And here's the reason why. We know Leonard Fournette is the man. He runs all over everybody. However, he has not faced a front 7 as good as Alabama's. And in my opinion, I don't think LSU's quarterback has the ability to abuse Alabama's secondary. In order to beat Alabama, you got to be able to throw the football. You got to be able to have a deep threat. You cannot line up and just run the football against this front 7. So in my opinion, Alabama wins this ball game simply because these boys from LSU are one-dimensional. Yeah, I know this quarterback has been playing better. He's been doing his thing, but he ain't ran into a front 7 like this. They gonna have these boys shook LSU loses this ball game on the road. This your man Jay Graves Report from the TheJayGravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at TheJayGravesReport so you can holler at your boy.